Hello everyone. In today's video I will talk about the upcoming Necropolis League. This video will be a TLDR of the upcoming league mechanic and the changes that come with it. For more in-depth information, please read the patch notes. Necropolis in a nutshell is a mechanic that allows you to manipulate every new area by giving monsters certain buffs, making them stronger, but not every monster will get a buff that is not in your favor. Some of them are in your favor, for example giving you more XP or increased rarity. The buff will always be specific to a certain monster type. Some of these monsters can have unresolved anguish. If you kill them, the Undertaker collects their corpses and stores them in the morgue. These corpses can then be used to craft items by burying them. For example, a soul can have plus 50 to speed modifiers. Tier rating, the more souls you bury close together, the more you can manipulate the outcome of the item. These corpses can be traded by buying coffins. The process is basically the same as it is with beasts. You use a coffin on a corpse and the corpse gets stored into the coffin. All Flames. This item allows you to replace regular monsters in the Oromor's Lantern with special monsters that are contained in the All Flame. These can range from basic Legion monsters to monsters from the Trial of the Ancestors League. So tattoos are back. Atlas tree changes. Necropolis will get Atlas nodes. You can now have multiple Atlas trees, and some Atlas tree nodes will be replaced by other nodes. Endgame changes. Keystones that give access to the Uber Pinnacle bosses will be removed, and they will be replaced by a new set of fragments that will give you access to them. You can get these fragments in the 5 new tier 17 maps. They feature a new set of bosses, Uber monsters, and a new tier of modifiers that can roll on them. Uber bosses from now on will have different rewards than their non-Uber counterparts. Sextons and Master Mission selectors will be removed. Scarabs. Scarabs got heavily reworked. Instead of having 4 tiers, they now have 5. Beyond and Delirium Scarabs got added to the game. Scarabs are now all world drops, which means that they can drop anywhere. Master Missions. Maps can now have all masters in a map, which means you can now have Nico, Alva, Einhar, and Jun in a map at the same time. Campaign. The campaign has more extra content encounters than it had before. Gems. New Transfigured gems have been added to the game and new regular gems have been added. Quality of life changes. You can now automate many instant skills and war cries with 2 new skill gems, Automation and Call to Arms. Second, you can now hold control left click or the console equivalent to reapply socket and quality socket currencies. No more spamming is needed. Third, you can now press Ctrl Shift left click on a stackable item to move all copies of it in your inventory straight into the trade window. Fourth, monsters that explode corpses are now more clearly telegraphed. Fifth, modifiers on the item placed in the Horticraft station will now be displayed while hovering over the craft button. Sixth, using a Val orb on a map can no longer cause it to become unidentified. There are now a new set of corrupted implicts for maps. Seventh, corrupted and mirrored items can now be identified. Eighth, breach hands now open when you walk over them. You no longer have to click them. Ninth, upgrade to Pantheons now apply to all characters in a league. 10th, you can now exchange Uber Elder fragments at a Horticraft station, but a Shaper fragment cannot become a Elder fragment and vice versa. 11th, the Ashencraft will be transferred to Whale Orbs, which will now drop from Katarina and are no longer a world drop. 12th, Flasks can now be corrupted. 13th, the Betrayal Craft that converts an amulet to a talisman has been moved to beasts. And 14th, Maven invitations no longer drop. If you kill the 4, for example, Shaper Guardians that you would need for a invitation, you can now just talk to Kirak and he will open the invitation for you. Baldur's maps that granted invitation will now give you Scarabs. Alright, that concludes the TLDR video. I hope you guys found it informative and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.